One of the most difficult and challenging parts of your spiritual journey, spiritual awakening, can be relationships, setting boundaries, how to know when a relationship should end, when it should continue, people pleasing versus prioritizing your own needs and yourself first so that you can be at max capacity before you choose to give. All of these things can be very difficult and challenging to navigate. So, initially, as I began to go down this path of learning about myself, who I am, what I am, what matters in life, I immediately wanted to be all loving, all giving, all supportive to all people, even people who have hurt me, even people who may not necessarily be good for me. I wanted to mend those relationships. I wanted to reach out. And really, I wanted to help heal people who I knew were hurting. And it took a long time to really understand that we cannot heal anyone but ourselves. You can never force someone to wake up to a truth that they're not ready to receive. And it's not loving to ourselves to depend on someone else changing for us to feel better, for us to be okay, because we can't change anyone but ourselves. I read somewhere that the ultimate goal, yes, is to be completely unbothered, unmoved, untouched in the presence of anyone, no matter how vile their behavior is, no matter how hurtful their words or actions are. The ultimate goal is to be so unshaken in ourselves where nothing externally affects us or bothers us at all. But to get to that point, you have to be highly, highly advanced spiritually, highly advanced. Something you may never attain in this lifetime or for the next several lifetimes. So until we get to that point, we have to realize it does matter who you keep around you. It does matter who you hang out with on a regular basis. It does matter who you give your time and your energy to. And it does matter that you set boundaries with people who are not willing to be honest with themselves, not willing to be honest with you. They're actively doing things that are hurtful to you and setting boundaries with them and saying, look, if this doesn't change, I can no longer continue this relationship because it's no longer healthy for me or safe for me to be around you. Because you have to realize how vulnerable you are, your energy field, your aura, that when you hang out with another person in close vicinity and you're sharing time with them, your energies almost combine with each other. You rub off on each other. And it's very important, especially in the beginning, to be very choosy about who you hang out with. Bad habits can rub off so easily. And you tend to be very much like the people you hang out with the most. So if you are in a transitional state of your life spiritually, it's the most loving thing for you to do for yourself to be very, very selective. A lot of times after a big dark night of the soul, you may have to spend some time hermiting. This isn't complete isolation. You can still go out, you can still stay in touch with people, but you need to really prioritize a period of time alone to fully get to know yourself, what you're working towards, what you're working through, what you still need to heal, what the people around you that you've been hanging out with, what they look like, what they represent in your life, what are they reflecting back to you about yourself, and really question, are the people I'm hanging out with now or before, are those the kind of people I want to be like now or in my future? Are they evolving with me? Are they progressing with me on the same path as me? Or are they staying stagnant or taking a a completely different path than the one that I'm on and we no longer align, that is okay. There's going to be some grief with this. There's going to be a lot of change, and people who are not meant to be on your journey anymore will fall away. And that's okay. That's a good sign. You don't have to part with hatred or animosity or judgment. You just part with peace and with love, recognizing that you're in a transition. And maybe they're in a transition too. You never know where someone might be in the next 5 to 10 years. Maybe you'll reconnect later. Maybe you'll both end up in the same place. But it's important to really spend time getting to know yourself and your own needs, your own wants, your own goals. Because a lot of times we hang out with people to escape ourselves. And sometimes we hang out with people doing really unhealthy habits, and we build connections and bonding through those bad habits. And once you change your habits, sometimes the relationship is no longer compatible without the bad habits anymore. So when you recognize that someone is not capable of being honest with you and they're actively hurting you, you've said how you feel, you've said what's hurting you, what needs to change for this relationship to continue, and the person keeps on doing that thing. It's not, the boundary is not to cut you off energetically in the heart. It's to recognize that this person is no longer aligned with who you are anymore and they don't want to change. And that's okay. You respect where they're at. You don't judge where they're at. In fact, it becomes easier to love and respect them if you put space there, because now you're no longer in this pattern, this conflict, this toxicity. A lot of times it may be a family member, and this pattern's been going on for a very long time. And maybe you didn't recognize that it was toxic for a very long time. But now that you're changing and evolving, you're recognizing that this person is being hurtful, they are not willing to change or take accountability, then that is a sign that it's time to move on. We can't please everyone. We can't bring everyone with us. We do have to change who we hang out with. And oftentimes it's better to be alone than to be surrounded with anyone who's not on the same path as you. During this part, of course, be kind to people. If your old friend texts you, sure, text them back. Have friends, but be very choosy about who you are intimate with, who you talk about what you're going through on this journey with, who you share your deepest, most personal parts of yourself with. Some people will try to take advantage of those things. Some people won't understand. Some people won't like the new you, and they will try to pull you back in and try to get you caught up in conflict, because some people genuinely like conflict. Some people are addicted to conflict. They get high off of it. They don't know anything else and they're unable to face themselves. So they live off chaos and drama and conflict to distract from the elephant in the room. And these people, when you try to address the elephant in the room, you cut through the BS. They oftentimes get very defensive, very blaming, very angry, very unable to have a conversation that leads anywhere, unable to come to a peaceful place. Recognize it. Trust your gut. Trust yourself. It helps to know that it can take lifetimes to get to that place where nothing affects you, where you can be in the presence of anyone and everyone and it not affect you. But it's likely that you're not quite there yet, and you may not be there for a long time. So it's not unloving to separate yourself. It's not unloving to set a boundary. It's actually quite the opposite. The more you pour into yourself and respect your own self and what you need, the more you'll evolve. And the sooner you'll get to that place where you can be of service to everyone. But until then, you have to trust yourself. You have to listen to your cues. How is this person making me feel? Are you trying to reach out with peace and they're coming back with more conflict? Have you set a boundary and they didn't respect it or they got angry at it? Are they still engaged in really unhealthy habits that you have let go of, that you don't want to engage in anymore? And it's going to be hard for you two to hang out together and enjoy each other anymore if that's the case. So I wanted to share this because I really struggled with this concept. It's very hard for me to understand boundaries and how to keep an open heart, how to be open and loving and of service, but yet recognizing the truth that some people are on a loop in a place that you cannot pull them out of. I know you want to pull them out of there, but unfortunately, you can't. And it's actually fortunate that you can't, because who wants the crazy responsibility of saving everyone? Who wants that burden? And if someone else could save you other than you, that would take away your own personal power, your own sovereignty. So everything's perfect the way it is. You have to build the strength to set a boundary, to say what you mean what you say it with kindness, direct, assertive, no passive aggressive, no tiptoeing around feelings, just honesty without meanness, without unkindness. And if you can see that that's not something that can heal, you accept it and you move on. You send them love from afar. You work on purifying your own heart and your own grievances, your own resentment. Heal the hurt that maybe they've caused, that you'll never get closure for. You'll never get an apology. You may never see a change in behavior. So I hope this helped give you a little bit more perspective on what boundaries are, how to set them, why they're important, why it's good to spend time alone for a while, for a period, and that it's okay that you can't handle certain people right now. It's okay that it's very overwhelming and overstimulating sometimes to be around certain people. That's normal. That's part of it. Recognize it, be aware of it, and prioritize yourself, recharging your own battery, taking care of your own needs, trusting yourself, and parting ways with love when needed. I love you. I hope you have a wonderful day and a beautiful week.